Hello, festival goers of the internet. I'm the Festival Finesser, and festival season is approaching fast, just as fast as all these bookings have been coming in for me, man. It seems like I've been playing 2 to 3 shows a month since the year started. We kicked off in January at the Keystone Stage in Scranton, Pennsylvania. For February, I had my big one, Northern Invasion, all the way out in Montreal. The week after that, I played a show with Sweet Tooth in Brooklyn. For March, I played direct support for Arctics and UK on their tour at the Meadows in Brooklyn as well. The week after that, I was all the way out in Harrisburg at HMAC for a dubstep pajama party, and that was very fun. First time I've ever experienced a show like that. For April this past week, I played at a brand new venue in Philly called XOX for a brand new show series called Hardest in the City. This coming week, I'm playing a show that has not been announced yet, but I'm going to leak for you guys right now. Wildcard Wednesday, going down at a brand new venue in New York with all the New York homies, and that venue is looking very proper. The day after that, I am playing all the way out in DC, making my debut at Soundcheck for High Score, and that is a video game lounge infused dubstep show. If you've seen the Big Dub vlogs, if you know about High Score, you know how unique that experience is. And then for May, I have an unannounced show again at the Keystone Stage in Scranton, and then a big one all the way out in Providence, Rhode Island, called Rhythm Island with Social Genres, with the headliner to be announced. And just announced my first festival booking of the year, Moonwalk Festival, going back-to-back with Bellatrxx. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the lineup, talking about the festival, and seeing what it has to offer for this year's installment. So don't go anywhere, because we're getting into it all after the intro.
Can I get it?
Finesse gang, can I get a yer? What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. For those who are new here and don't know me, what's good? I'm the Festival Finesse. I'm a videographer, content creator, and DJ. This is my YouTube channel that revolves around music festivals and lives going experiences with a focus and concentration on dubstep and rhythm. Today we're talking about a festival that I've attended in the past but never spoken about on the channel, and that is Moonwalk Festival 2024. Since I've attended in 2022, they have moved locations to Echo Lake Resort in Afton NY, and this festival is on the smaller side, but it's very intimate, very immersive, and has a lot more to offer than just the music. So I want to talk about that before we get into the lineup. So the venue itself, as you can imagine, it's on a lake, and the main stage overlooks the lake, so you get those nice views and vibes, and it's very just kind of like nature-esque in a sense. And the main stage is obviously where all of your bigger acts are going to be performing, but there's also multiple stages, smaller stages throughout the festival, renegades, pop-ups, after-hours events as well, and there's a lot more to do during the daytime than just go to the sets and the stages. They have workshops. There's going to be yoga, meditation, flow art, a twerking class. They have vendors to check out, not only for food, but clothing, jewelry, art. And the one that I think is most cool and most unique is to have a sponsor called the Holy Grail, which is basically a mobile smoking lounge. And they have a dab bar, all your necessities to, smoke and roll up and just hang out and, be comfortable while you're smoking, as opposed to, being in the crowd or being in a hammock, even though hammocks are pretty comfortable. But I just think that's really cool that they have a smoking lounge for the weed smokers where it is recreationally legal in New York. So that is a really cool aspect that I am definitely stoked for and hyped to see. And the festival organizers really emphasize this festival to be an experience you can remember, but a chance to forget. They're very open on creating experiences. They want you to leave with something, whether it's new relationships, building connections, making new friends, learning something, or even leaving something in the past. That negative energy, being able to use it as something to move on, start fresh. So in that regard, it's very spiritual, and it's going to be very immersive. With the whole lake and the forest. It is a camping festival, as you can imagine, and it is true festival forest camping, not plots, not, in a parking lot, not in a field, but you're in the woods, in the trees, camping wherever you see available and wherever you find fit and comfortable, you know what I'm saying? So there's no assigned camping spots, things like that. It's a very, relatively, free, open, kind of, loose restrictions in a sense, and really kind of, go with the flow and go with the vibes in that kind of sense. So I like the looseness aspect of it. It's not very, I don't even know the word, structured, but I mean that in the best way possible. They're not going to tell you where to camp. They're not going to tell you where to go. It's kind of once you're in, you're on your own and you do what you want to do, and I really like that kind of freedom aspect, and it really kind of is a music and arts festival. They're going to have live paintings, muralists, things like that, art installations, and the forest is definitely going to change at night, kind of like a forest vibe or a dance fest vibe with the lasers and the lights, and it really kind of transforms from day to night. And with the lake, I feel like it's going to be a whole vibe and just a really cool place to chill. And like I said, forget and just experience at the same time, you know? So the festival is going down June 13th through the 17th. That is a 4 or 5 day festival, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, with the main days being Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm really excited to see what this festival has to offer. And I'm really excited at the experiences that it's going to provide, not only for the music, but in, you know, the earlier days, you know, the earlier like moments of the festival as well. And really just kind of like wandering, exploring. And it's not a big festival, so you can really explore everything easily. And it's going to be intimate. It's going to attract a lot of local homies, a lot of familiar faces. And I'm really stoked on that aspect of as well. So I think with all that being said, we can now look at the lineup here and take a look at what this festival lineup is looking. Off the bat, it looks a lot more stacked than previous years. Usually it's only like 1-2 headliners, but this year we have Yuki headlining on Friday, Company headlining on Saturday, and the Woodley headlining on Sunday. So a nice balance of heavy and weird. Yuki bringing that heavy and weird vibe, like, you know, infused like collaboratively. Company bringing that heavy, just straight heavy vibe, and then the Woodley bringing that straight weird vibe. We also get Calcium on Saturday as a special guest, it looks like. So Saturday is looking like my kind of day, bringing that heavy dubstep, mosh pit kind of energy. And then getting into the next tier here, we have Ahi, who is a little bit more experimental and weird, a little bit melodic as well. Alien Park bringing that heavy dubstep. He's been crushing his U.S. performances, and just recently got his visa in the last couple years, so he has been crushing it and buzzing it out here in the U.S. Anti-Hero, a smaller name, or maybe not as known name, but someone I've been following on Instagram for a long time and SoundCloud, and his shit is very heavy, very high energy, and something you're definitely going to be able to mosh to. Cannabis, more on that experimental, weird, melodic kind of stuff. Not too familiar on the vibe. I could be mislabeling that, so if I am, feel free to correct me in the comments. Dice Man, very weird, very experimental, very down-tempo. What's cool about Dice Man is he really kind of incorporates like a slam poetry in his sets, and like we'll get on the mic and do poetry over some like ambient noises and sounds, and it's very spiritual and really kind of makes you just like, he has a very different approach to his sets, and it's very creative, very unique, and very different. Dirty Audio, bringing that trap, you know, high energy, kind of like, I really just think it's trap is the best way to describe it. We'll be bringing a lot of bass, a lot of high energy, maybe some dubstep in as well, but traditionally, on a Dirty Audio as being a trap artist. Gorilla T, bringing that dubstep and wonky infusion as well, kind of like Ganja White Knight, but on the heavier side. Boogie T, you know, but he also has a very nice infusion of the heaviness as well, and not just strictly wobbly and weird. And his DJing is sick. It's very creative, and is very just like, you know, his doubles, his technicality, very sick, and I have a lot of respect for Gorilla T and what he does and what he is doing and continues to do. Haze, I'm not as familiar. I've seen a bunch of lineups, but I'm not too familiar. If it was dubstep, I feel like I would know. So with that being said, I feel like it's going to be more on the experimental, melodic side, you know, more on the weird stuff. But I could be wrong on that. So again, if I'm mislabeling it, let me know in the comments. We have 2 blurred out names that, you know, I guess are going to be released in Phase 2. Jason Leach, I'm not familiar with as well either. Now, I can't really recall seeing that name on too many lineups, so it must not be in the dubstep and heavy bass world. Kumarian, another one of those artists that I am not familiar with. I've seen this name on so many lineups, but for some reason I get Kumarian and Turning Sound confused. Not so much of a heavy dubstep artist, but could definitely bring the heavy when they want. But who is going to bring the heavy for sure? OD Dabber, an OG in the New York and New Jersey scene, and definitely, or maybe it's Connecticut, I don't even know, but he's definitely big in the tri-state area. I just got paid, let's go. And moving on here, we have Rafiki, who is definitely going to be bringing that weird experimental kind of like Dice Man kind of vibe, very wubby and weird and down tempo and experimental. And then we have Wido, who is going to be bringing a little bit of everything as well. High beat, upbeat, melodic. And I said high beat, upbeat, a little bit of everything for Wido. And then getting into the next tier, these are a lot of our locals and regional acts, kind of like the local support acts, if you will. And I do not know a lot of these acts, to be honest with you, but I do know a few homies on here that I'm going to try and mention and shout out. So I will touch on everybody, just, you know, for out of respect. So we have Allwack, Blurabino, Bowda, a homie out in Philly who's going to be bringing that weird experimental vibes, a little bit of trap in there as well, but definitely on the weirder, and, you know, can bring the heavy when he needs to and wants to, but I feel like a festival like this going to be bringing more like weird, wonky, down-tempo kind of stuff, some trappy stuff, and we'll sprinkle in some heavy dub stuff to keep you guys on your toes and get you guys moving and grooving. Next up, we have Kobe, who I'm not familiar with, but I've seen on Solanas before. The Associate Dubs I'm not familiar with. Elysium is going to be playing that wildcard show that I mentioned in New York, one of the New York homies, and I believe that is more melodic and, you know, feelsy kind of stuff. Evra, I'm not familiar with. Festival Finesser back-to-back Bellatrxx, you know we bring in the heavy, the rhythm. Bellatrxx bringing that tear out, and you know we bring in that high energy, good stage presence, and we're going to be rocking that stage. I believe we're playing main stage early in the day, about like 3 to 5 o'clock in that, you know, time range. So make sure you guys are up early and ready to get crazy, because we are going to be coming crazy, proper, and correct for that set. Next up, we have Futuristic Mystic, who I've seen on some lineups, but I'm not familiar with the sound. Chicani, I'm not familiar with. Jamie, I'm not familiar with. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with a lot of these artists. Collapse, Max, Mo, Nico, Nizam, or Nizin, I'm not too sure on that one, honestly. Back-to-back Dopamine. Placebo, if I'm not familiar with, he is one of the connects out in Scranton at the Keystone stage, and he's going to be bringing a variety of sounds, upbeat, downbeat, weird, drum and bass, wonky, and he just has a very diverse set and kind of does whatever he's feeling for the day. Schmez, I'm not familiar with, but I've seen that name before, and The Wandering Real, I've also seen that name before, but I'm not familiar on the sound. So anything I'm not familiar with, anything that I mislabeled, definitely let me know in the comments below so we can all learn and grow, and I can, you know, be better prepared for my next review. I do not do any like research on these reviews. I do straight off mental, what I've seen, what I know, what I've experienced, and my personal experience from the artists that I've seen, listened to, and know. So again, some of the sponsors, we have Holy Grail bringing that you know, mobile smoking, you know, lounge, and you know, they're gonna have the dab bar, all that kind of stuff. We have Night Captures doing the media. We have HSD Sound Systems bringing that proper sound system, and then we have, you know, the grounds, the rentals, which are not as important, I guess, but we still have to shout out the sponsors, you know, respectively. And again, dubstep, camping, and very immersive and very, you know, what's the word? I don't even know. Festive. You know, it's going to be a very festive festival, and you know, it's going to be vibey and intimate and small. And I like the small festivals because you can see everything without having to walk 3 miles across. You know, you can go back to camp easily, and it's like go to the main stage, go back to camp, go back to main stage, check out the Renegade stages. I believe there's going to be more than one stage, but the main stage is going to be the main set throughout the day, and there will be you know, smaller stages that pop up throughout the night. Like I said, the Renegade bus and things like that. I have not been to the festival at the new location, like I said, since it's been relocated, but when I went in 2022, even being a lot of smaller festival, still very vibey. And I feel like this festival is really one that you can experience with your friends. You get a nice group of homies, and it becomes a whole entire vibe, and your friends really make the festival experience that much more memorable. But I feel like with a lineup like this at the new venue, with the vibes, the location, the immersiveness, it is going to be one to remember, and like to say, a chance to forget. So I'm very stoked on the lineup. I'm stoked to check out the new venue grounds, and I'm excited to make some vlogs for this festival and be able to do it with ease. You know, again, like I keep saying, smaller, more intimate. It's easy to see everything and do everything and meet everybody, and you know, meeting up and finding your friends and making new friends, and you know, it's going to be a vibe. So I'm excited for all the vendors, all the attractions, the workshops, experiences. I feel like it's going to be a good one, and I feel like it's going to be very much improved since the previous year. So that is my review. If you need tickets, I have an affiliate link with my, you know, unique ticket link that helps me make some extra commission. I'll put a link in the description box below for tickets if you need them. I appreciate you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys there at the festival, at my set, and let me know if you're coming. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys for watching on the Festival Finesser. Peace out. I'll see you at Moonwalk.